Good morning! I have officially graduated. I can't believe I can actually say that and it's true. Hello my little raindrops, welcome back or welcome home. My name is Desiree and I am so glad to have you here. So I thought we could do a chatty get ready with me, which is something I don't believe I've ever done on this channel before. Today is Thursday, May 16th. I graduated on Monday and so there are a few things I could update you on. So I actually have a tattoo appointment at 10:30. It's currently 8:58, so I have enough time to get ready and chat, but I will be checking my time just so I don't get there late. This is such a cute look. So for anyone who is stumbling across this video and is seeing my face for the very first time, I'm Desiree. I am 21 years old. I'll be 22 in August. I just graduated university with an honors in English with distinction, a minor in visual and material culture studies, and a certificate in visual literacy, which took me 4 years to acquire all of that. When I first started university, I was planning to do an honors in history and a minor in classical studies, but that obviously changed. I was a 2020 high school graduate, meaning that I was a 2020 first year university student. So you can just imagine how chaotic it was to sort of get adapted to everything that was happening in our lives because of the pandemic, but then also adapting to starting university as someone who grew up in a super small town, meaning that my high school experience was so far from preparing us for university as possible ever. It was just eh. And in first year, I started working for a professor in the VMCS department, Visual and Material Culture Studies, as a metadata assistant, and I worked with her for almost my entire degree. And so in second year, this was after I'd started my business because yes, RainyDaysLibrary was an Etsy shop first and foremost, which I started in the summer of 2021. So in the fall of my second year, I was starting to think, I would kind of like to change, my career path. And instead of working in history for the government, which I'm so glad I didn't move forward with that. Nothing wrong with it, just definitely not for me now. I was thinking I want books to be at the center of my career because I started reading a lot again in January of 2021. So in fall of my second year, September 2021, I started talking with my boss about, okay, would VMCS be a good thing to have as someone who is considering working in publishing? She said yes. I switched my minor, and not long after I switched my honors from history to English. So that's just giving you a little bit of background on who I am, especially regarding my studies and how I got to where I am with a diploma, with all of those aspects. As for my platforms, how they started, how they're growing, and then what's next, like I mentioned, RainyDaysLibrary started in the summer of 2021, more precisely June 23rd, where I started an Etsy shop to sell blind dates with a book. I went viral, found my community, created an amazing bond with my followers, and then it just kept on growing, even after I chose to close my business. Was it in January of 2023? The reason why I decided to close is just because I could not find the time anymore to actually actively create new products. Given that I was still in university, I'd started an internship, more on that later, and it was just I did not have the time for it anymore and I'd lost my love for it. And I strongly believe that you should never force yourself to do something that you're not passionate about. So I chose to close and focus on my platforms as social media, content creator type stuff. Which brings me to what's next. So now that I've graduated, I am definitely one of the lucky ones out of my graduating class because I have a job right out of graduation. I'm already working full-time for this job. And it's because of my social media platforms that I got it. As I mentioned, I started an internship last year for Fable, which is such a beautiful place to be. It's a lovely community. My coworkers are literally the best people on earth. And the work environment is one of the healthiest work environments I've ever been in. Yes, I know I haven't been in many, but considering the few I have been in, it's definitely one of the better ones. And so they found me because of my social media platforms. I began, you know, like a connection, a relationship with the editorial team, and then sneakily inquired about internships. They were so happy that I'd asked about it and instantly got me on board. And I can't even tell you how grateful I am to have found them. And like, I feel like I found my people. So I've been an intern for them up until like a few weeks ago, where I started working as an editorial and community associate. So that is one of the main things for my what's next. I once thought I wanted to do a master's degree right out of undergrad, and these last like 2 years have been so hard on me. And I know that I am definitely one of the lucky ones, and I do really acknowledge it. And so I'm incredibly grateful for all the luck and all the support and all of that I've had over the years. But I definitely do not see myself doing a master's degree now, perhaps in the future. But for now, I really want to accumulate experience, because as someone who wants to work in, you know, the bookish world, the publishing industry, all of that, a master's degree is not necessarily required. And as with a lot of things in our society today, whenever you try to apply for a job, odds are a lot of them, a lot of positions do not require a master's degree. What they require is experience. You look at any job and it's like, it requires 5 years of experience in this domain, requires X amount of experience in this domain. And so since I have the opportunity to gather those years of experience, I figured, let's work on this first, and then if I do want to go back to school for a master's degree, I can go after, and then I'll have even more credentials to get another different job if I want to. However, I will say I don't plan on leaving my job at Fable anytime soon, because I just love it so much. So that's that. But I'm not completely putting the key and locking the door to that future opportunity of getting a master's. So that's pretty much the update on like the work situation. I am expecting like a standing desk in the next few weeks, so I'm gonna be like a real work from home girly, which I'm really excited about, because I would much rather work from home than work from an office. I am indeed that type of person. It's much better for me. It's better for my mental health. I can be a social butterfly as long as like I have control over how long I'm socializing. And if I go in an office from 9 to 5, I just know it's instant burnout. It's not for me. So I'm very grateful that I get to work from home. As for social media plans and what's next for that, I definitely want to start posting more again, because I am blessed enough to have the platforms to do it. It's something that I've dreamed about since, you know, I was 13. I would record myself doing like back to school hauls and never post it anywhere, because I didn't really want to, because I wasn't confident enough. And now that I have this platform, and now that I have, you know, a beautiful community that actually cares about what I say, I want to start posting a lot more again. I just realized I wasn't very focused all this time. I'm so sorry. But one of my main priorities, I forgot to bring a Q-tip. One of my main priorities for social media is to grow my Bindery, because I started this, so it's sort of like a bookish Patreon, but I started this at the beginning of the year, and then school just got so insane, and I really let go of it, and I feel terrible, because I have a great community who, you know, subscribed to the Discord and subscribed to the actual subscription, and I'm not doing enough, and I acknowledge it, and I feel terrible about it. So I want to spend more time growing this subscription, because it's such a great opportunity. Basically, Bindery, like I mentioned, is a sort of bookish Patreon, and if your community grows enough and there's enough support and all of that, you eventually have the possibility of becoming a publisher. So that's one of the main reasons why I really want to grow this platform, is because publishing books is literally something I've dreamed about for so long. And I was dreaming about this before I even started university, and the reason why I didn't go into English straight away with the goal of opening a publishing house is because I was not confident enough. I didn't think I would be able to do it, because it's hard owning your own business, and so I was really doubting myself of being able to be a business owner. And then all the Rainy Days Library stuff happened, and now I feel like I have the proper support system to actually do it. And so that's why I really want to spend some time growing this platform on my Bindery and even my socials just in general, because I would love for the opportunity to actually open a publishing house. And my main focus would be on translated literature. I was thinking about this the other day. My boyfriend and I went on a walk outside, and I was just trying to think on, like, I need to know where I want my Bindery to go. That's one thing that I still need to work on. It's when you're working on something, you need to actively work towards a goal. Not always, of course, but it's very useful in certain situations, and my Bindery is one of those. And so I realized that I never really thought about, like, if I do have the opportunity to be a publisher, what is going to be my niche? What is going to be the main thing I want to focus on? And in case you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of translated literature, especially Japanese and Korean literature. And so I've been in touch with some amazing translators, one of them being Ant and Her, and we had a really nice conversation about how the industry is just so small. It's misrepresented. There's just, like, publishers are not publishing enough diverse translated works. It's very much stuck to English and French and not enough of Korean, Japanese, and other languages. And I've even considered being a translator. I'm still considering it because it works with contracts, so I could, you know, work on translating a manuscript while doing other things for, like, other jobs. So I have considered being a translator. I'm still thinking about it. Like, that's what I would want to do. So that's just a little rant on that. Otherwise, what is next for, like, just me as a person? I plan on having a great summer and a great fall and a great winter and just a great time in general. I'm really lucky that my boyfriend got a contract locally because he is currently working with the military. There was a possibility that he would have to go live on base somewhere else, and we got lucky, and now he is on home unit. So we're going to be able to do a bunch of fun activities throughout the summer, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's something else that I didn't really prioritize during my studies, like just living life, which I know it sounds kind of sad. It is kind of sad. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. From the get-go, I'm not someone who goes out. I don't go to bars or clubs. I don't drink. That's not my thing, and that's so okay. I would much rather stay home and read a book, which is basically what I've done these last 4 years. Like, after my schoolwork was done, I would just be reading at night. But I do acknowledge that I didn't really prioritize creating connections and just socializing in general. I feel like my main focus over these past 4 years it was strictly just get the work done, do your assignments, focus on that, nothing else. Like, and then social media came on board, so it was focus on your studies, focus on social media, just live by these two things. And then my job came on top of that, and I'm so grateful for all of it. I know I repeat myself, but I really am. But I didn't really prioritize going out to do activities, like, I don't know, going to the farmer's market, or going to the beach, or doing just these really fun, not really social activities that create priceless memories. And so that's what I want to work on this summer and the many months after summer. I just want to find a way to make every day memorable, because every day is kind of like a reminder for me now that once the day is done, it's gone. Like, it's gone forever. I can't get it back. And obviously, like, that's a commonly known fact, but I feel like I personally, and I know other people, don't really pay that much attention to how fleeting a moment can be, how fleeting a day can be. And I really want to make the best of it, because I know, yes, I will be working 9 to 5 at my desk in my office. So I make my office as cozy as it can be. I make the workday as memorable as possible. And after work, I try to do something that I'll remember many years from now. So whether that be, you know, playing a board game with my boyfriend and just having a great time, or FaceTiming a friend or a family member or my parents and just having a really deep conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be like crazy, insane, or a lot of actions. to be memorable. It could just be a discussion. It could just be a conversation. I really want to prioritize that now that, you know, it's sort of sinked in that these past 4 years genuinely flew by so fast. I still feel like I'm going back in September, and I know that's the case for almost every single graduate. So I feel like now I'm just really experiencing the grief of who I was in academia. Like that's one thing I want to use my platforms for. So I guess that's a little other what's next. I would very much like to start posting more content on how I'm finding ways to connect with myself as a person outside of academia, because I feel like all I've ever known was school. Because I started school when I was 5. I'm now 21. Who the hell am I outside of that? Like, I don't need to write essays anymore. I don't go to class. I don't say I'm a student. Like, this is me. Who am I? You know, like, that's the big question. I want to get to know who I am without being connected to an institution. I know who I am, but I feel like I could know myself a whole lot better. And I know there are so many assets of my personality that I have yet to discover because, I don't know, school blocked it out of my knowledge. Did that make sense? I don't think so, but I hope you get what I mean. I want to find out what other hobbies I really like. I want to find more places to visit and create more memories. I want to meet new people. I want to create more memories with the people I already know and love. I just want to like feel more connected to myself. That's definitely something I had a hard time with during school. Feeling connected to myself. I felt like I just didn't have the time. Like the only time I did feel somewhat connected to myself as like a person was when I was reading or when I was creating content. So I really want to dedicate, like every single weekend, I'm gonna try something new. Or if I choose to work on one hobby every weekend for a month or something like that. I just want to get to know myself better. And so I'm wanting to sort of not necessarily fully convert this platform into a silent vlog type of account. I don't really know the name for it, but I would really like to just document all of my experiences and just have it on here so that I have access to it, and it's just like a reminder of I exist. I live experiences. Here are the memories that I have access to. So you can expect a lot of those sort of silent vlogs in the future with like occasional interruptions of me talking, because I'm gonna start taking this account, like specifically this YouTube account, as just a digital diary. That's what it was like at the beginning, but it was really book focused. I'm still gonna be talking about books. I'm still gonna do monthly wrap-ups, but I will put a very strong emphasis on doing things that, 1, take me out of my comfort zone, 2, help me connect to myself, and 3, just find out what I have a great time doing. And for anyone else who's watching this video who's either getting ready to go to college, university, higher education, or for someone who is currently there or is graduating from that sort of institution, I hope that this brings you some sort of inspiration or even just comfort in general to know that if you also feel disconnected to yourself as a person because you've been in academia for so long, know that you're not alone. I think this is most likely something that every single one of us goes through, and it might take some, you know, just a couple months to feel reconnected to who they are. It might take some of us a bunch of years, who knows? But I want to start feeling that sort of weightless, carefree kind of feeling. There are a lot of elements from when you were a child that I feel that are so important to keep as an adult, and so I want to touch back on those. So anyways, I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I should probably start getting ready for my appointment. That is what's next. I now have a degree. I am lucky enough to actually be using every element of that degree in the job that I work in today. Not just my job at Fable, but my job on social media as well. The education that I've gotten over the past 4 years is incredibly valuable for the sort of content I like to post, especially about books, and so I want to make the best of it. I want to share my knowledge. I want to create more connections. I want to be a source of comfort to people, because I know that when I needed it the most, it was so great to have that support system, to have that comfort, whether it be through people in my circle or by certain people on social media. And so if I can become that for a couple more of you, I will feel like I've achieved the highest goal. I have a bunch of video ideas for the future. Some of them will just be my usual book content. Others will be like tattoo tours, traveling vlogs, day in the life, just anything that really keeps me in the moment is what this platform will be focusing on from now on. And so I think I'm gonna stop there, because if I keep going, I'm just gonna keep on ranting. And if I keep on ranting, this video is going to be way too long. So thank you so much for watching. Again, if you stumbled across this page without knowing who I was, well, I hope that you know me a little bit better now, and I hope that you feel some sort of connection, and if you do, it would be great to have you join the family. I'm just so grateful that I get to be here and sit on my office floor and talk to a camera, and know that it will eventually make its way to a bunch of other people, and hopefully it brings that comfort that I'm hoping to, you know, bring through the camera. With that, I'm gonna let you go. And I very much hope that you'll stick around for the next chapter of the Rainy Days Library YouTube channel, where we're just going to try to take it one day at a time and genuinely make the best of every second we have. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.